Trends O'Clock. This is Trends KE with KK Cedric.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Thank you very much for joining this conversation tonight. Tonight, we are having two amazing guests, and we are going to talk about the place of the girl child. And as you know, sometime this week is the International Day for the Girl Child, and we shall be having a discussion around that. Please give us your views on this topic, and if you have any questions, kindly send them to us so that they can be handled by the two amazing guests that we have tonight. Tuna Violet na Valeria. And one is an economist, the other one is an entrepreneur. I don't know if they are meeting here for the first time or they know each other. Let us know. Thank you very much for showing up to this discussion, Violet and Valeria. Yeah, so we shall get right into it, and I'll start with you, Valeria. The whole conversation of the girl child, up to the point that we must have an international day to celebrate the girl child. Why?
Hey, looking at it from a global point, it's very evident that there's need to address rights of the girl child. There's need to know how to handle the challenges they're facing, and generally how to even incorporate the world into accepting the empowered girl child. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And I'll send the same question to you, Valeria. Why do you think that we should have this special day for the girl child?
We need to have this special day for the girl child because unfortunately she's the most vulnerable. If you compare the two genders over time, we have all come to that agreement that girl child is the most vulnerable. So we need to really recognize and take a lot of time and handle the girl child with a lot of precaution because she's very vulnerable.
Okay. Yeah, Violet. I don't know if you can hear me now, Violet. Thank you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to ask you this question from your own thinking. What is the place for the girl child in relation to their male counterparts in the current society? When you compare the girl child and the boy child, what do you think currently is the place of the girl child?
Okay, so first of all, I want to really appreciate the progress that has been made in empowering the girl child. So when we look at the trends, how it has been evolving from way back, and now you look at it, the way women girls are being trained in a manner that is involving them in the societal trainings and everything. So personally, I want to appreciate that first of all, and it has given girls a better place in the society. For instance, you will see, I know now if you look at almost all the society, there is a place of leadership for a woman or a girl, and it starts right from where they from right at home as they grow up until now. We have president in Tanzania is a woman. You look at our Kenyan concept, we have so many women in the parliament and things like that. So I feel like that empowerment has given women, girls, a greater position in the society that was not there before. So their place in the leadership arena, And this is equally to the men, of course. Men have been dominating that area, but I see that women also have been raised to that point thanks to empowerment. And apart from that, we look also the job sectors. We look at also when you go back to school, you look at how women or girls are being represented there, and you see that it is in leadership, it is in every aspect where every human being is involved. So for me, from my months, from what I've gathered and what I've seen in the trends, I feel like a woman have been raised in terms of involvement in the society.
Yes. Okay. I'll bring it back to you, Valeria. I might have asked you somewhere two questions because I'm now confusing the names Valeria and Violet. uh, do you think that the boy child is not ready for an empowered girl, or is it that the girl child has been empowered at the expense of the boy child? Because there have been complaints that there is so much focus on the girl that the boy child is completely forgotten.
The boy child is not completely forgotten, but a lot of emphasis has been put on the girl child to an extent that the boy child feels neglected. So you find in the today's society, NGOs that are coming up, community social services, they're all geared towards empowering the girl child. So at the end of the day, we are having these amazing women who we are lucky to have in our society. Uh, the ladies who can be at the forefront of our political arenas. We have mentors, we have mothers, quality mothers, and you find that the man that you're having today feels like now he really has to take his place by force because someone else is really trying to overtake. So the problem we are having is a lot of empathy that we put on the girl child, that the boy child feels neglected, despite the fact that since time immemorial, the boy child has always been told he's the head, he has to take a control, and he's a strong person. So getting someone really coming after their position really puts them in a position of I really have to do this, and no one is going to take my position. And it should be put out there that this is not a competition. The girl child is not competing with the boy child. The girl child is being empowered because she has a multiplier effect on everything that she handles. They say if you give her a fruit, she'll give you a plant. If you give her one tree, she'll give you a forest. So we're just trying to create a community where the girl child can really work together with the boy child, not to reflect them, but to work as partners.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, sure. And thank you. You've said very well that there is no competition, but we just need to create the balance. And we have also had the International Day for Mental Health sometime this week, and I'll want to bring in that aspect as I ask you this question, Violet. That there are so many stories from fighting FGM to very many stories, even in slums, of menstrual hygiene. Then there are also stories of character development from the opposite gender on the streets. So, how is a little girl supposed to be prepared mentally for what they are supposed to face in life? Violet, can you take it?
I didn't get the last part of the question. Please repeat.
Okay, I have asked that in all that awaits a little girl ahead of them, such as all the issues of menstrual hygiene. We have some who live in slums and they have a lot of trouble with that. There is also character development from the opposite gender and other issues that a girl has to go through. How are they supposed to prepare mentally, or let me say psychologically, to face the lives ahead of them?
Okay, thank you. So It's a tricky question because sometimes you don't know what you will face ahead, otherwise you would prepare early enough. But also, what I'll say is the girls just need to be prepared in all spheres of life. Yeah, they need to understand from the word go, like not everything will come the way you planned, but in case it doesn't show up the way you planned, so how do you face it? The other thing also, I think if there is something that has not been emphasized so much and that is causing so many people engage in those character development you're saying, or the frustrations that come with life, is we haven't been allowed to grow individually to a point where we love ourselves, to a point where we understand ourselves, to a point where we are able to embrace ourselves irrespective of how people view us of or what people do to us and things like that. And this affects mostly, you realize that the reason as to it affects mostly the people from the informal settlements or the slums, as you've stated, is I don't know about the other side, but let me talk about the people from slums. You realize that, take a scenario like you've been raised in the slum, your parents are casual laborers, right? So they have little to no time to spend with you. So all you understand about love and self-expression and things like that is what you understand from the surrounding. So you've never had this genuine love from your parent or genuine attention from your parents or people around you. And then when you find this one person or this person who wants to express more than you received before, you get yourself so much connected to them and so much attached to them. And then this person, for some whatever reason, they detach themselves from you. So you realize that you feel like the one thing that meant the world to you is taken away. So you find that it challenges many mentally, it may affect them physically, it may affect them emotionally, and all aspects of life. And then also having just this, apart from that, the other way I think they can prepare is just having these small circles where you just have accountability, like creating accountability to each other. Like, can we have a sisterhood that is stronger and a brotherhood that is stronger? Are people who you can be open to air your issues without being judged, and they're able to hold your hand in terms of difficulty, so that you're built mentally, physically, and everything. Apart from that is continuous mentorship. If you have a reason to live, then no one can disconnect you from that reason, and that reason has to be greater than just emotional. You have to have a goal that is greater than just what you see physically. For instance, if I had a vision, and my vision is, I've come from a humble background, and my goal is I want to leave a generational legacy of wealth, right? That is a greater goal. And when I have such a greater goal, it doesn't matter how much somebody tries to pin me down and give me any character development here. And I believe character development is not just in relationships, and it's also in maybe jobs you apply for. You can really get character development in such areas, or any leadership position and things like that. So if we can help these young people to create a greater goal and have a greater focus, and we have mentors to hold them, we have a space where, a safe space where they can open up and air their issues and have someone to help them solve it, I think it will prepare them better for whatever hardship that comes ahead. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I'll also ask you something around the same, Valeria. Uh, she has talked about sisterhood and the whole issue of being able to confide in someone when you're going through something. And also, nowadays, there is a lot of social media, and people want to keep up to certain standards of life, such that they feel if they are not up to that standard, then they have totally failed in life, because of everything that people show around, mainly on Instagram, on TikTok. people are living posh lives, which most of the time the talk is that it's not actually what is on the ground. What would you advise a young girl who is going through that crisis of being able to keep up with peer pressure? Yes.
Influence in our life. Social media is really affecting our lives today. And the one who is really affected is the girl child because the society has put her in a position whereby she has to be spectacular. She has to live to the standards of the who and who knows, and the haves and the have not. And at the end of the day, uh, if she is not in control of what she's doing on social media, then it really trickles down to what you carry home at the end of the day. So I think we should just talk to our girls from the time they're getting into adolescence, and before they even get to womanhood. This is the time when their brains are developing into what is right and what is not right for me. So, if for instance, at the moment we have cases of girls who are modifying their faces, their lips, their boots, and everything else is getting modified. So it all trickles down to what kind of environment do you have, who are your friends, who are you interacting with. So it's fine that if you keep our girls and our boys, not just girls, if we keep our children in school, if we keep them in the right social circles, at the end of the day, even if they are interacting with the social media, they still know what to take home and what not to, because you can't really do away with social media. It has its vices, but it's also a source of income to very many people. We have people who are using YouTube to make money. We have influencers who are using these same platforms to make money. So you can't tell our children to stop using social media, but rather bring them up with the right characters. Be a role model as a parent, you be a role model as a sister, and you make your environment healthy for the next person. Just have someone you can mentor or just be good to people around you. And the girl child and the boy child who is still trying to develop their brains must also know that social media is not what it looks like. A lot of it is fake. And if you go to the ground, you realize that people are really going through a lot of stuff, and what they post out there is not the truth. So it's just, they should just help the environment and help in good social circles.
Yes, and still, Violet has said that at least you should get someone you can confide in if you have some trouble you're going through. And if you follow social media, many people say that I'd rather die, and they make it as a joke than confide my troubles in someone, because you will tell all your stories to a person, and then you didn't know that the person had a dream of opening a podcast, and their first story their first story on their podcast is your story, everything word by word. So how is someone supposed to identify this particular person that they are going through a mental issue that they need to solve? That how are they supposed to tell someone that they can confide in?
Valeria or Violet.
Valeria, can proceed.
Okay, so personally, I get my mentors from the people that I really know a lot about. So you can read books, you can watch videos, you can watch documentaries. You can also attend very educative shows that will guide you. Like the whole information is online. You can only if it's not someone if it's someone you've never met, you get it online. But most of the time, your mentors are within your reach. It's just get to identify it's always aligned to what you want to be. And if, for instance, you are with Michelle Obama, at the end of the day, you know where to find her. If you are with Cedric, they'll know where to find you. So everything is online nowadays. Yeah, but it all starts again with your environment. If you have the right people around you, that's where you should start getting your mentor.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Violet, we live in the era of Madam Boss and independent ladies. Uh, what would you tell us that is the importance of a lady or a woman being financially stable and independent? Violet.
Thank you. So being financial independent is important, and I believe it's not just for women or girls, but for everyone, because we know at the end of the day, money talks, and when money talks, everyone keeps quiet. Yeah, and also money gives you value. Truth be told, yeah. Oh, sorry. You've ever had someone is whatever they're saying doesn't make sense, but because they have money, everyone is quiet. And I believe that it is the same. It is the same for women. I'm not
Yes.
just saying that money makes our head becomes bigger, direct translation, but money gives us confidence to speak. Money gives us confidence to afford that which um, otherwise could be given by someone at a given cost. Yeah, because if you look at, for example, in the informal settlement setup, you realize that there have been so many publications of the articles where they say young girls get pregnant because of sexual favors for exchange of money. You see, that is not worth it. Or someone else will own you because they know at the end of the day there's nowhere you're going. You have no money to take care of yourself and all that. So I believe that financial independence is important, because also us as women, we have goals to attain. You will never be dependent of someone for the rest of your life, because no one is guaranteed to live forever. So if they become separate from you or they live your life, you have to continue, in case of married people. Or for the case of those who are not married, young girls, also it gives you a voice to explore the world without necessarily attaching someone to it, so that you get the confidence of just having your own. So I believe that if I am independent financially, I get to make more firm decision on my own without really requiring someone. And also it helps me achieve the goals that I need to achieve within a time frame that I have set for myself, because I have resources and I have finances to take care of it. And also it explores you, like it gives you exposure, not explores you, sorry. It gives you the exposure that you need. Imagine if I needed to attend a conference and I need to ask for money. I have to convince someone of how important that conference is for them to give me money. And if it is not important to them, they might choose to not support my venture, my attending the conference. And at the end of the day, that conference meant something in my life or in my career or in anything. So it will help me. So let us get financially independent, right? And financially stable as women, so that our decisions are respected and we're able to follow up on our goals. And also we are able to participate in the building of the community. It is our community, so let's participate also in that area.
Thank you. Valeria, I'll also ask you a question around the same, but in relation to the opposite gender. There have been talks of people who are not comfortable around independent women because they think that they will behave in a certain way different from what is culturally acceptable. What would you tell to such kind of people who are, let me use the word, afraid of the progress that is being made in development and empowerment of women? So, okay, you may proceed.
I want to say that these men are not clear. They are speaking from a point of informed position. because sorry to say, but an empowered woman who is not in control of how she's handling herself most of the time goes beyond what is expected of her. And I'm not saying it's expected by her, from her by who, because naturally, even from the point of creation, a lady is supposed to be second to the man. Not that she is supposed to be lying there without giving her opinion or anything, but she's supposed to respect a man. So most, not most, but some women, when they get this independence, they may become arrogant, they may become rude and say anything that they want. So my urge is that even if you become empowered and you have independence, you should still know your position. A man and a woman are never going to be the same. So you have to bear in mind that he's still the man. So these men are not scared really. It's because they've seen women mishandle themselves when they get this independence. But I would also urge them to also grow to that level and understand that we've gotten to a point where women are not sitting behind. They're also working because inflation is really hitting everyone. And
Yes.
we have to come together, we have to work together, we have to strike a balance. So it's all about getting to understand who you're dealing with. If you know they are too independent for you, leave them alone. If you can balance your independence on the same level, then that's even better. Yeah, but the man and the woman are never going to be the same. Let's just find a balance on how to deal with an empowered woman and also nurture our boys to handle this empowered women.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that. I'll bring in another interesting conversation that has been happening for a long time, Violet. Uh,
Mhm.
Mostly about Kenyan ladies seeking jobs in the Gulf, mostly Saudi Arabia and the other Arabic countries. And there is talk, and many have come from that place, telling of horror stories of what has happened to them. Recently, there was a video doing rounds online of a lady who allegedly was forced to breastfeed dogs. Yeah, yeah. So if that's true, then it has gone to that extent. Uh, where do you think the problem is from your side, Violet?
Okay, thank you very much. Of course, those videos are they're so painful because if you imagine that is your sister, that is your brother, uh, and everyone is looking for greener pastures. But also, no one is ready to water their pastures to be green, or no one is taught. So, my understanding is the reason for these people, for these our sisters to move from Kenya to go to Saudi Arabia or whichever country is for the same purpose of looking for money, right? And what we haven't been taught is how else can we make this money apart from them going there? And we know the basic job that they're going for is just most of them, I believe, is house help jobs, right? And so they look at the kind of state in their own country, which is Kenya. And most of jobs in Kenya, you have to bribe your way through. Yeah, at least I know that. Hata kufagia, you need to bribe your way. Just to sweep, to earn, you need to bribe your way. And so you realize that not everyone is able to bribe their way. And even in those bribing your way, someone still can con you in bribing. One. Two, you look at the kind of jobs that they are being presented, as much as they're being marketed outside there. Someone is willing to bring their own relative to get the job. Or the other option is people want to sleep around with you to give you a job as a woman. And other challenges that are surrounding women getting these jobs. So the bottom line is, how else can we train our women to earn without necessarily going to Saudi Arabia? Should we emphasize in them starting ventures? business ventures that will give them returns? And how do we make markets in a way that it will favor the products they are making? Because we have genius minds in Kenya. So genius as young, there are young people who have great minds, but we are losing them in search of money in states that are not really appreciating the efforts they're giving. So if you ask me, I believe that we just need to change the mindset of how else are we making money. And we don't have to leave the government to help these people find employment, but you can also do it. How do we do it at our local level? How by ensuring that, one, we don't just help these young people, because I believe that there are so many people who are giving across the country, giving trainings on businesses, right? I know we've had, yeah, but you're training them to do the same businesses without training them on how to access the markets outside there. So someone starts business today, 3 months down the line, they don't have the market, they don't know how to scale it up, and then it shuts down. They cannot carry it forth. So I believe that if we change our ways of making money and help these young people to make money in a better way, in a greater way, then they won't have reason to go there. And even if they go, also I'll say the government also have a role to play. In case they go there, can our government protect our own? In the sense that the government should not keep quiet at their work, like the other lady who was brought back. Their work is bringing them back, taking them back to school. Yani, must they go to Saudi to suffer for the government to realize our own is suffering there, so that they bring them back, take them to school? No. Our government also should stand and give respect to our young girls and tell those nations that are taking our girls the way they should respect them. Because I believe other countries are also sending their girls those other sides, and they're not having extreme cases as ours. So our government should really be tight on the agencies that are dealing with this and let our girls be protected in case they have to go. And also as a country, we need to create a reservoir for our own, so that they can also build money. We can also create money within our country that is respected.
Thank you for those views. And as we wind up, because I can see time is very much not on our side, I'll ask you this question, Valeria. From where you sit, do you think that women have made steps into getting to elective and even appointive leadership positions? Mostly I'm talking about political positions. Do you think that they have reached there, in quotes, or we still have some time to go? And are you seeing if we, in the near future, we could have a woman at the presidency?
I know for sure.
I think we have a problem with your audio. There's a lot of noise coming from your end. I'll throw the same question to you, Violet. Do you think that we have reached in terms of representation of women in leadership, appointive or elective positions? Do you think that in the near future we might have a woman at the presidency?
Yes. I believe with the trend that is really showing up, because as Kenya, we have moved from this point where we're just selecting people because we love them. We've reached a point where we are voting people because of the work they will bring out. Of course, there have been other people who will talk of, I'm voting this because he's from my party and all that. But generally, if you look around, Kenya is now looking at what can you bring? And how can you follow up to the promises that you've made? So I believe that the way women are pushing in the parliament, you look at the representation already. Yeah. and you look at how they're going to work also, the kind of investment they've made for the few months that they've been in their position. So I believe that if women continue to give tangible results, then Kenya will vote them for the presidency. And if they have what it takes to run our country to the next level, then definitely we will have a woman as a president in Kenya in the near future.
Okay, great. I am trying to get to you, but I think we're still having a lot of noise from here. Okay, I think that's better. You can hear me, Valeria. Valeria, can you hear me? I don't think she can hear me. Okay, so you'll help us take this home, Violet, as your final remarks, because time has gone. From where you sit, let's say there's this girl, young girl, who is feeling lost. Let's say someone who is struggling with maybe some addiction, or they are having troubles with their career. They are yet to find their footing, and some have issues maybe with even their relationship, can be with relationship with family or loved ones. uh, what would you tell them this night, Violet? Someone who is struggling to find their foot and they have all manner of issues around them. Some have even thoughts of giving up. What would you tell them?
First of all, I'll tell them, one, they need to find themselves first. Yeah. And allow me talk from a Christian point of view, because I'm a Christian. So if they were to ask me, they need to find themselves from the creator. Yeah, from the aspect of creation. When they were created, they were created, one, complete. Two, they were created perfect. It is written in the Bible. Three, they are beautiful just the way they are. They are complete as they are. The challenges that are showing up have a solution. It might not just seem as it is being solved now, but it has a solution. So if they have an extra day, then God still have a purpose for them. And that purpose will be fulfilled if they can draw back and redefine themselves from who they truly are. And if they're Christian, they will define themselves from a Christian perspective. And if they are Muslim, let them find their identity from the people they believe, from Islamic point of view of definition. So I believe that unless you retrieve yourself and find your genuine identification, this is not the opinion of people, not what people think about you, not what your mama said about you, not what your father said about you, not what your boyfriend is saying you are. But can you go back and just redefine yourself? Can you go back and tell yourself who you are based on the positive aspect? Forget about the negative. Those are things that you have just gathered because of the atmosphere that has surrounded you at any particular time. But who you are is the best version that you can be if you retrieve yourself and define yourself. So I will tell that girl outside there, I'll tell that boy outside there that please go outside there, draw back to yourself, redefine yourself, know that you're beautiful, know that you have everything that it takes to achieve whatever you've set yourself to achieve. So restructure your mind and then move forward from there.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. And I don't know if we still have a lot of trouble with that. Valeria, you'll have to forgive us. Your sound is not so good. Yeah, we will have to take this home. Thank you very much for showing up. I'll create some other time so that we can have this conversation or another conversation yet again. There have been so many people tuned in. We have Josh Amewuga, we have Michelle Anyango, Arori Anthony, Josh, Valerie, Charlie, Maureen, Max Empress, Charlie, Frida, Arori, we have Bida, Christine, and many others who did not send messages. Thank you very much for tuning in to this discussion. We will see you next week for another conversation at the same place, same time. Thank you very much and have yourselves an amazing time. Thanks, Violet and Valeria, for coming for this discussion.
Thank you for having us.